The last video is code flow about the durable function side of the distributed tracing. So I explained about the configuration of the durable functions at the last video. This time I'm gonna explain the code flow both on durable functions and the WebJobs XCK side related to distributed tracing. So if you let's see the orchestration. So yeah, so the related class inside of the durable functions is these things. The implementation of the durable orchestration client. This is the passing the activity internally. This guy called the task app client. So that we need to, if you want to pass the parent of the the trace, that means the activity instance, then you need to pass from here. So then the inside of the task, the task app client is called, and the task app queue send the queue to the orchestrator, right? So this is a recap of that. But the durable function side, for the client, the durable orchestration client implementation class is a key. Then for the orchestrator, oh, this queue includes the trace context. Then the orchestration. So let's see the relationship between the durable task and durable functions. Durable task, as I explained, the task orchestration dispatcher that control everything. So this guy, the dispatch, first execution as the log next task orchestration. Once you this orchestrator receives a queue, and then this inherit ID of the correlation, and then the create new trace context and work item, task orchestration work item. Then this task orchestration dispatcher dispatch the durable function side. Before the dispatch, the durable functions already created a telemetry initialized activity, a telemetry activator already. Then the durable task extension is executed by the orchestration dispatcher, especially this part, orchestration middleware method. You can refer this. And inside of the orchestration middleware part, this guy, the dispatcher some and getting the value from the task orchestration sim. That is some kind of the wrapping up class and some kind of the context for the function execution. And actual function orchestrator functions executed from here already trace context is and fetched to the through the task orchestration and task orchestration middleware and fetch that. So that is why the orchestration middleware executes the orchestration function. So that is why the trace context is already dispatched to the orchestration middleware. That is why the orchestration functions can refer the trace context by .current method. That is async local. Then what happened is that after execute the orchestration middleware during the when the orchestrator executed by the orchestration middleware, the Azure Functions host works. At the side of the Azure Functions host, the application insight logger works. That the receive the information. Receive the information was create a new activity, and from the application insights logger side, and and logging out to the application insight about adding some additional metadata inside of the Azure Functions related things like instance ID or something. Yeah, this is the overview of the orchestration. But at the same time, this is not only the one, but there is a telemetry activator that also have a client of the application insights. So what happened is that this application insight logger is the creator log for the each orchestration execution. But for the customer, it doesn't make sense. This is because the orchestrator is replayed several times, and for the customer point of view, they just execute only one orchestrator function. But inside of durable functions, it is executed several times. So each several times execution tracked by this one. And for the logical log, for this is one orchestration execution from start from this time and end at this time. These things is tracked by the telemetry activator after the complete task orchestration work item. I think by the if we already the configure the callback. So this telemetry I call it logical telemetry. So this is not related to each the function execution. So that is why this telemetry don't have the metadata of the Azure Functions host side. But because this is logical, it happens for each orchestration only once. So that is why that this concept is true. That this each execution called a physical execution log, and for the orchestration log I say and logical log. Yep. Then the queue is created. How about activity? Activity is pretty similar. So task activity dispatcher execute the durable task side and log next task activity work item. I think this is create a newly trace context that include the activity class instance. So this dispatcher executes I name version of object manager at the durable task um, extension method. This executes that, but a little bit behavior is different. This guy doesn't execute the Azure Functions host. The who is the this time is task activity stream will execute the Azure Functions host with the activity function. So that is why the activity functions can refer the activity class instance because the iname version object manager already inherit gets the instance through the .current, and also the activity functions have an activity. So at the time execute the Azure Functions host, this activity function can pass the activity instance to the application insights logger side, and this guy and physically at the in case of the activity, the physical and the logical is the same because only one execution. So that is why this activity is created from the the durable task side. That means that it is correlated. This correlated activity is sent to the application insight logger of the Azure function side and adding to the functions host related metadata and publish to the application insights. So, but this feature is not current version is not implemented, but I already create a pull request and it is merged to the Web Jobs SDK side. Maybe the beta release will include this feature. So yeah, so this is that overview of the the current implementation of the durable functions distributed tracing. If you want to learn more, yeah, so this is the same. So I just omit it. So code reading, let's go. So code is very correct, right? So let's go to code. Yep. In this case, this is web host, jobs host. So we can go to the durable functions code, and the important part is as I said, durable task extension class. Yep. How can we inject the related to the telemetry activator? This is very simple. Look at this here. So yeah, this one is injected by the dependency injection in here. So you can find here. So right. So as a DI, this is implemented. So also that you can find that these things is the preserved in here. Then let's go to the method of the orchestration middleware. this is for the orchestrator. You can see the theme is here, and also that this method is called from the durable task side, and that is why that if you want to refer the the task trace context dot current, that you can find it. So then you can find some execution in here. Yeah, look at this. This is the code of the the executing the Azure Functions host side, like this. So for the each function execution, this is code, and also the this this code executes the Azure Functions and Azure Durable Functions orchestrator that written by the customer, and so that is why the customer can refer the trace context and object from the customer code, like this. So let me see the sample code of the from the customer point of view. For the customer point of view, so I'm going to show you the code for the orchestrator. Maybe the for the orchestrator, maybe this is not a good code. Maybe the correlation integration might be good. This is, you can find this code inside of the samples folder. As you see, look at this. If you, this is the orchestrator. If you refer the orchestrator like this, correlation trace context dot current, then you can refer the trace context object from here. If you want to, the custom telemetry, if you want to refer that, you can do it. And also at the functions activity client, you can also do like this, activity dot current. You can get the activity. So you can also send the custom telemetry, or if you want to send to the other system, then you can make it. Right. So let's go back to the other method for the activity functions. That this method is called I name version object manager, but there is no execution between here. So yeah, if you want to the pass the, so you can go to here. From here the activity class is passing through at least, and yeah, also this guy returns the task activity theme. So task activity theme is eventually called this one, run execute, and execute Azure Functions host side, like this. So if you want to send and passing the Azure Functions host, your the custom the activity class instance, that you can pass from here using the begin method in here. Maybe I don't explain in this time in detail, but you can use that method from here. So you can get the activity from that method, last method, and yeah, passing the activity from here. This is the point, like this. Then finally, I'd like to explain about the Azure Functions host. This is reside inside of the Web Jobs SDK, and you can find that this Web Jobs logging application insights and application insights logger. This is the one. That's the once that's the method that is where is this? So yeah, this method. Yeah, once this method is executed, eventually this is called this method, apply functions result activity tags. So then what happened? Oh no, not this one. Sorry. And where is yeah, this one. Start telemetry if function invocation. That this is called. And then what happened is this guy the filter out. For example, there is no activity, current activity is no, then that you can, or that you can, if this is ignore activity is here or something like that, and yeah, there is try to create, for example, the new activity or something. But in this case, we don't want to create a new in here. Instead, we want to make pass the activity from the durable function side and make it track on this side. In this case, the I create a new scope of this MS track activity. So using this one, if you are using this one, then all the telemetry is the the passing through in here without creating something new. With after that, the application insights logger adding the metadata of the Azure function side. So yeah, we can track from the activity class inside of the activity. Yeah, currently, it is tracked by the durable function side as the alpha version, but by the beta version, I'm gonna use this feature, and also and how to use it. So you can go to the test Azure functions unit tests. So you can find logger application inside logger test. Ignore activity, track activity here, like this, like using a begin scope of the logger, then you can do like this. Then if you add this using cloud, when you execute something, then all the log that is surrounded by this using clouds, then all the then you can execute the functions host in here. Then the all telemetry is all activity instance is passing through to the functions host side. That's it. So all course have been done. Maybe this is very advanced. So for more information, so you can the refers all the architecture documents and the references, and you can find from this blog, and you can do the references from this blog. So search that, and you can watch the in the overview and the much more easy one, and easy overview or architecture. You can find the video in here, and also references and samples, and architecture of the durable task side, and everything you can find it. So that's it. So if you have any questions, please contact me, and thank you for watching.